Scientist in Every Florida School Summer Professional Development. I'm really excited to be here, and I was excited to see so many people participate in our get meet and greet last night. That bodes well for the rest of the week. For those of you who've not been involved in any of our Scientists in Every Florida School programs in the past, we are part of the University of Florida's Thompson Earth Systems Insitute, which we call TESSI, at the Florida Museum of Natural History, which is a college at the University of Florida. The Scientists in Every Florida School program is funded by the UF President's Office for what was called a Moonshot program, and our project runs from 2018 through 2022 and hopefully beyond. The Scientists in Every Florida School builds a long-term collaboration with teachers and scientists, and we hope to have outcomes that better integrate relevant science of Earth systems, that is to say, air, water, land, and life, into your classroom lessons. This year's focus of our PD is the nature of science, and the rest of the week is aligned with your teacher's needs and also the Florida Sunshine State standards. Next slide, please, Brian. All right, so as I said, the SEFS, we call it SEFS. SEFS is a 4-year project. We originally started in 5 pilot counties. We've now added Levy and Marion counties, so we're in 7 pilot counties. And the project is managed by 2 SEFS coordinators, Stephanie Killingsworth in South Florida and Brian Abramowitz in North Florida, both of whom were former teachers. Our original focus of our project was to have in-person classroom visits and role models in terms of our visits to the schools. But of course, with COVID-19, everything was turned upside down. And now we've modified our strategy to be able to reach more people in schools digitally. And actually, there's a silver lining in all this, because with virtual instruction, we don't have to limit our focus on the 7 initial pilot counties, but in fact, we're reaching out to many more counties in Florida, and that's also evidenced by where all of you are from in terms of the professional development. So this actually encourages broader participation. I'd also like to introduce Pasha Antonecco. Pasha is my co-investigator on this. Pasha is a professor in the College of Education, and he's involved in aspects of how we deliver learning through the internet. So we have 40 teachers. Just a second, hold on. Sorry. We have 40 teachers on this professional development and about 20 scientists, both in terms of presenters, but also in the laboratory. So this is quite a large undertaking. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank Brian and Stephanie for all the hard work in putting this together, and for your interest in participation. Next slide, please. All right, so our original plan was to have in-person visits by students, scientists, and other role models going into the classroom to deliver content and lesson plans related to the needs of individual teachers. And here are some examples of these. Of course, by the middle of March, none of this was all no longer possible, so we had to change our strategy and deliver content digitally. And Brian and Stephanie have done just incredible work since March in developing a varied slate of activities, like you can see in the next slide. So there's a lot going on here, but there's daily dose, week-long tidbits about learning about various science content, which then would culminate at the end of the week with a Q&A with a particular scientist. In the upper right-hand corner, I led a virtual walkthrough tour of the giants of Florida prehistoric past, iconic skeletons in our museum. And then we've also had various live virtual events almost every day during the week since March. So there's a lot going on. And I know that some of you have already availed yourself of these SEF virtual activities, and I encourage the rest of you who've not yet been involved to participate in these. And I should also let you know that many of the digital content that we've delivered are also available because we had them recorded. And in the last slide, I just want to talk about an overview of where we hope to, just some metrics of our activity in the first year of the active SEFS program. We've had, prior to March, 183 scientist visits, 183 teacher scientists in our SEFS network, statewide network. We've delivered more than about 35 virtual events as part of the COVID response, and had almost 2,100 participants in our virtual events. And we've reached 138 schools, mostly in our pilot counties initially, but with the virtual, of course, we've reached out to other counties in Florida. And indirectly, we've reached, through teachers and other programs, more than 16,000 K-12 students over the past year. And in the final slide, I want to talk about where we hope to be over the next decade, what I'm calling strategic impacts. SEFS hopes to build a sustainable scientist-teacher network. Hope it will result in better trained teachers. We want to provide support for at-risk teachers. We can talk more about that during our PD, what we mean by at-risk teachers. Ultimately, the test of whether we're successful will relate to improved student achievement and enhanced knowledge of the students in terms of their ability to undertake STEM careers and 21st century skills. So that's my introduction. I should say that you can see here in the lower left-hand corner, this is a group photo from our first PD exactly a year ago this week. And the topic of that was the biosphere. And this year, as I said, the topic of our PD is the nature of science.